Hey family, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. Hold on one second. Okay. All right. We're gonna go from here. Couldn't do that one, so I'll take that one out. Go back here. Okay, we live. Um, yeah. Got a good one tonight. We just did the five episodes of why people are afraid to heal or find peace. So tonight is we're going to go into the very first decision that actually starts your healing after going through that part. So just sit back, relax, and just enjoy the ride. I was trying to wait for somebody to come on with me, but if they don't, I'll give y'all a minute. Not, I'm off to the races. How's your day today? I had a good day today. I went to therapy, you know, did my thing. Give y'all 1 minute. After that, I'm gone. That give me time to smoke my blunt too. Get in the right mood. And got the candle over there burning with the good smelling oils. All right. The very first decision that actually starts your healing. I'm giving you 10 examples and then I'm going to mix it up. The first example is deciding that your peace is more important than being right. A lot of times in life, uh, because we feel that we're right, uh, that we go the extra mile for that. But sometimes peace is better to just let it go, you know. And that's what I find out in my life is just letting things go. You know, my peace is more important than being right. You know, and this is what life is about. You know, learning from your mistakes and going on. You know, we can never think that life adversities are not going to uh, happen in our lives. Even if you have peace, even if you're healed, if you learn the lies from the truth, there's going to always be adversities because your adversities shape and mold you to the direction of where God wants you to be in your life. If you ever notice that, all your adversities shaped and mold you to who you are today if you love yourself, you know. So these are the things you have to pay attention to, you know, because God don't make mistakes. But like I said, you know, sometimes, most of the time, peace is more important than being right. Number two, choosing to stop abandoning yourself to keep other people comfortable. You know, and that's like a double-edged sword. Um, it happens, you know, when you like when you love your family, you know, you sacrifice and you take less for yourself to make sure that they're all right. Um, but a lot of times it's not appreciated. So then you feel like it's, you know, it wasn't even worth doing, but it's always worth doing, you know, because like I tell you, you know, where another person is at, it doesn't mean that's where you at. You have to understand everybody takes time. It takes time to get to certain levels in life. And it's not going to come overnight. It takes time. So, you know, we just have to be patient with each other, you know. You just have to be patient with each other. Number three, deciding you're done repeating the same patterns. This is part of when you starting to heal. Like, yeah, I can't keep doing that. You know, that doesn't work. You know, and when you have to change your pattern, that means that this is not working. So choosing to feel, deciding you're done repeating the same patterns is a part of once you start to heal. You know, you start to recognize and see life for what it is, people for who they are, and you don't point fingers, you don't judge. Like I said a minute ago, that's just where they are in their life. That don't mean that's where you are in your life. You still have to keep striving and doing the right thing to do what you need to do to get to where you need to be in life. Choosing to feel your feelings instead of numbing them. You know, a lot of times people may think that because I smoke marijuana, I'm numbing feelings. No, this is for pain. I have arthritis in my spine, hips, and knees. And now with the gunshot wounds, it's even, more so. So it's more for pain, relaxation, because when you're in pain, it's hard to sleep. So when you're relaxed, it helps you, to sleep and everything better. But a lot of people numb the pain, but when you're healing, you no longer can numb it because it's a part of healing. You have to face it. You have to go through it. It's like the wall of adversity. You have to go through it to get to the road of change, So we like when I tell you in the fourth principle, excuse me, with the wall, you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you can't go around it, can't go you can't run from it, you can't self-medicate. You have to go through, you know. In order for you to heal, you have to let go all the things that inhibit you from being who your real self is, and that's the ticket. Deciding your healing matters more than your reputation. And that's kind of a hard one, because we as people, value our reputations. And in life, sometimes you just have to go with healing than to deal with, that. I choose healing. It doesn't matter. Life is still life. Choosing to trust yourself over everyone else's opinion. This is when you really understand yourself, and no matter what no one else says, you know what you need to do in your life, and you do it. See, that's the thing. You have to do it. And when you do it, it's like I said, life is a beautiful thing, man, when you embrace your journey. It's a really, really beautiful thing when you embrace your journey. Um, and it's a blessing, you know, to be able to go through all of the crazy things in life and then make it through and then, keep striving to do better and be better. Feasibility law. Deciding to stop waiting for the perfect time. It's no better time than right now in anything in life. You want to change? Start right now. Like I tell you, a marathon don't start with person running. It start with the first step, and then you go from there. Choosing to take responsibility for your own healing. No one can. The only way you can is if you do it. You have to do it for you. You can't heal for no one else because it's not going to be what's in your heart. It's just like a person who's on crack cocaine or heroin and they want to quit. They never stay drug free if they quitting for somebody else. But when they quit for themselves, when they gotten tired of being sick and tired and going through all the things they're going through, that's when it's real, and this is what it's saying. Stop waiting for the perfect time and choosing to take responsibility for your own healing. Only you can do that. No one else can take responsibility for your healing, you know. And it's a process. And this is why I like this program that God gave me, because it has 5 principles, 3 articles, one healer, and the healer is helping everyone accept, achieve, and appreciate love. And before we go any further, this is the name of the book, Through Adversity Come Change. It's on Amazon. Through Adversity Come Change is in the workbook is also on Amazon, and you have the Kindle. So you have 3 options. And I will get some books so I can have to show you the workbook here with me. So then we go from there. Deciding you're allowed to want more than just surviving. And this is the thing. Like, anybody who's going through anything in life, they all of them want more than just surviving. And the people who've gone through a lot in their life, they do the things that they need to do. Like I tell you, going the extra mile to make sure that they have, because they've gone without and they understand what that's like. And the beautiful thing about it, once you're able to be 100% real with yourself, nothing else even matters, because you're going to do the right thing by yourself, period. And number 10, choosing to stop betraying your own needs. Like, when I used to say that I used to spend $1,000 a day on scratch tickets, that wasn't a need. That was a desire, a want, but now I only do what I need to do. I don't do extra. Of course, I don't need it. And when you come to this place, you're going to realize all the stuff that you were doing, you really didn't need it. You just had it to want, and when you start to heal, you're going to see these things, and it's subtle, little subtle things. You just be like, wow, these are things that I overlooked all this time. Second topic I want to talk about tonight is what you do in the first 24 hours after you've chosen to heal. Now, check this out. You sit down and write exactly what you've done tolerating. What do I always tell you about the past? The past is only a measuring stick, because the things that you learned and you liked, you keep. The things you learned and didn't like, you take away. But you build your boundaries. And the people that respect your boundaries are people who love you. The people who don't respect your boundaries are the people who don't love you. So the whole thing is this right here. You have to really exactly understand what you're not going to tolerate no more. And this is why the boundaries are supposed to be there. It's a learning cycle. This whole thing is a learning cycle. And when you able to understand it, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I said, I truly enjoy living this way. You delete or mute anything that triggers your old patterns. You stay away from people, places, and things. It's the reason why that's said. Because certain things trigger certain things. And behaviors, have patterns. And when you know that being around certain people or places, trigger certain patterns, and and you don't want that. Alhamdulillah, excuse me. Alhamdulillah. And you're healing. You're not going to deal with nothing like that. So you're going to delete or mute anything that triggers your old patterns. Number three, tell one safe person that you made this decision, that you're going to continue to live right, do the right thing in your life, no matter what. You're not going to go back to your old ways, and you have to stick with it. It's not that deep. Number four, uh, clear one physical space that presents a fresh start. Like go in your house and clear a space. That's like a fresh start. Work, do whatever you're gonna do in that area, but you make yourself a nice little new workspace. Number six, schedule your first therapy or coaching call. Some people might need that. It's nothing wrong with it. I would not say anything against it. You know, some people need that. Mental health is a very very touchy thing right now, and one day it's going to have to be addressed. Whether we like it or not. One day mental health is going to have to be addressed in society. Set your phone background to something that reminds you of your why. Like put your why on your screen. Why are you doing this? Why you want to go where? Here. Why you want to go there? Your why. Your reason to live. These are just little small things that you do that when you're trying to heal and live your life right. Seven. Take a long shower or bath as a symbolic reset. You just go in there, and try to clear your mind. Take it as hot as you can and just put your head under the water and just stay there until, you just relax, get it out of you. You know, these are just small little soothing things that you can do for yourself that will help you through these times until you can get to the place where, your healing is 1 million, but everything comes in time. It's only through adversity change take place. This is why it's called TACC. Through adversity comes change. And you must understand your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. It's only you can make the choices, the right decisions. It's up to you. You know, take a long okay. Write yourself a short letter about why you're doing this, about why you're healing or trying to heal or find peace. When you write these things, they say that it resonates more. Because you're seeing, you're writing what you want. And that's a good thing. You know, it's a really really good thing because nowadays, we use the phone. It's a computer, and you just swipe with your finger. So you're not really writing. You're writing, but you're not. But when you physically write something, it means much more. Turn your phone off for 2 hours and just sit with your decisions. You know how many people could never do that nowadays? You walking down the street, it's going to be at least 10 people out of 15 that are on their phone. Driving past in a car, 10 or 15 out of 10 out of 15 on the phone. So for telling a person to put their phone down for 2 hours, it's crazy. Excuse me. To some people. But if you want to heal, these are the things you need to do to start to learn to heal. This is why you have to go through life's lessons. This is why, it's only through adversity come change. Your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. It's up to you. Pick one small self-care act and do it immediately. Just do something for yourself. Go get your fingernails done. Go get your toes done. Go get your hair cut. Go get a massage. Go get a facial. Whatever. Do something for yourself and feel good about it. Because you're going to a different level of elevation in your life when you heal, and that's a blessing. You know how many people go through life that never got a chance to heal. So we have to take advantage. This is the third part. The smallest steps that create the biggest shift. Saying no one time when you usually say yes. Drinking water first thing in the morning every day. Small steps. Taking 3 deep breaths before reacting. Small steps. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for at night. Small steps. Putting your phone in another room for 30 minutes. Small steps. Instead of 2 hours. Small steps. Looking at yourself in the mirror and saying one kind thing. You know how many people beat themselves up every day and they don't know why? It comes from low self-esteem. I used to have it. I'll be the first to tell you. And you try to explain away things that really don't make sense. You know, and when you heal, you don't explain no more. Life is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. It's over. And the things from your past is like I tell you, it's a measuring stick for the things that you want, that you like in your life, and the things that you don't like in your life. You put your boundaries and you go from there. Going for a 10-minute walk with no destination. Oh no, with no distraction. Go for a walk with no distraction. Small steps. Things you start to do for yourself. So when you're on the road of healing, it just makes you feel better. Things that you missed that you didn't do when you was in the grips of whatever that you was in the grips of in life. Just small steps to heal. Choosing one meal that actually nourishes you. When you're running, you don't really get good food. But sit down and eat and get yourself and relax and small steps. Keeping one promise to yourself, no matter how small. Just small things that you just won't do. And you gradually do more. Pause for 10 seconds before making any decisions. You know how hard that is for some people? Because like when I was telling you, what people don't want to heal or be at peace. That's one of the things. Like if it ain't if it's popping, it's on right 100% right away. But to take 10 seconds to think about something, you know, is a better decision, especially as you're an older person. We must think before we talk, and sometimes we don't get it right. Sometimes we do. And this is the last part: how to start healing when you have zero energy left. First one, start with rest instead of forcing action. Lay down. If you don't feel it, let's lay it down. But you get up and take care of your business. Always take care of your business. But if you don't feel it at that moment, just chill out. Do the absolute bare minimum and call it progress. This is how you start healing when you have zero energy left. When you don't have nothing left, this is how it goes. Focus only one nervous system regulation, nothing else. Let go of guilt about moving slowly. This is when you don't have no energy left. Ask for help instead of pushing through alone. And see, this is what a lot of people don't let their pride, their ego. And you know what ego is? It's easing God out. You know, you need help. It takes a village. And this we have to understand. We have to help each other. We all help. We are all a part of one big village. One big Adam and Eve, mother, father of all. So we all family. It's time not to start acting like it. Ask for help. Choose easier, healthier tools available. Scale everything down to 5-minute tasks. This is when you have no energy. You just do what you can do. Stop comparing your pace to anyone else's. You got to do what you got to do. You got to move how you move. Can't move like other people if you ain't got the energy. And this happens. And treat your exhaustion like valid information, not failure. Hey, man, it's just what it is. And last but not least, begin by removing one draining thing from your life. And that might be the hardest part because the draining thing might be somebody that's close or something that you love a lot. But in order for you to heal, you have to give it up, you know. And if if you really want to heal, you would give it up, you know. It's like yeah, it's like going through life is a struggle. This we know. In order for us to heal, we have to understand that we're going to have to go through life's ups and downs. Period. People gonna come. People gonna come in your life. People gonna go. You're gonna make money. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna have friends, and you're gonna have friends that go. You're gonna have things that come, things go. It's just how life is. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing good lasts forever, and nothing bad lasts forever. And we have to understand to heal is to put ourselves in a proper place and do the things that we need to do in order for us to be right at the end of the journey. This was all about. The healing is about the journey after. Because if you don't heal, you can't go on that journey. I guarantee you. Nothing, like God says, not an atom's way to pride can enter. And what's with pride? Ego. And that's easing God out. So, like I said, I just want us to have a platform that we can come and talk and heal and look at life in a positive light, so that we can help each other to grow, to live better, to do better, and it's not hard. It's not hard, man. We just have to let go of those old inhibitions in our lives and like, you know what? This is a new day, it's a new me. I have to move on with my life and live my life in a better light, and it feels better. Trust me. I know what it's like to live on the other side. And this fight with nothing. feels much better. Like I said, I live off $1,000 a month, and after I pay my bills, I still have money left. Whereas before, I would spend $1,000 a day on scratch tickets. It's a big transition, but this is when you have to make the change. This is what lets you know you're healing. You're never going to be fully healed because it's from the cradle to the grave. But when you know you healing is when those things that you used to do no longer a part of your life. They no longer feel good to you. So you let them go and you live your life the right way. And that's what I'm doing. And this is what I want y'all to do. Like I said, the name of this program is TACC, Through Adversity Come Change. Check the book out on Amazon. And it's also a workbook. So you can start on your mission to heal for yourself. You know, um, like I said, all I want us to do is to win. I have no animosity or nothing from nobody. I forgive everyone. I hope they forgive me and move on in life. Like I said, I'm trying to make my way so in 2030 I can leave America and find somewhere else and to inhabit, for my last days, inshallah. So y'all have a blessed night. I hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight and you got something out of it. And if you liked it, share, send it to a friend, tell somebody. And just, do the right thing. You know, that's all I can say. Y'all have a blessed night. Tac Man out. Peace.